German bombers directed a large-scale attack against Potsdam. The new German blitz attacks are more nerve-wracking than the bombardments of 1940 and 1941, writes Newsweek. Field Marshal Rommel is again on the French west coast on a tour of inspection. The Sphere states that the man in the street doubts the results of the British and American air raid. Field Marshal Einstein indicated that in the event of an invasion, Germany would be in a position to deal out heavy counter-blows.
Was ist unser heutiges Deutschland? Nicht wieder schön, indem ich euch ihre Blicke weisig. Mein Lebenskampf ist nicht umsonst.
Affirmative, on my way. Fire!
Tonight, das Team Sportscast Network presents Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Time to do it up big. It's DeeAy of Destruction, TSN of Warwitch, Insomnia. It is Clanbase. OpenCup finals tonight on MP Assault as our first map this evening. I'm in-game. Can I get a hallelujah, DeeAy? Amen.
Finally, after all of that, we managed to get Warwitch in the server. Good games to us. Wacky server settings, but it looks like we're all about ready to go. Still waiting on one player for the Rage team. We've only got 5 on 6 at the moment. Just talking to the teams in the server right now, trying to figure out how to pronounce some of these names. Warwitch, I don't know if you've taken a look at the rosters for these teams, but we're going to have some problems tonight.
Oh no, oh my god. What is that?
I was not kidding.
Oh my god.
I've been told that that one with all the vowels in it is actually pronounced Iuri, so we can go with that. I think I can handle Iuri, even though that's probably wrong. And but on the Rage side of things, Elpul? Oh man, how do you pronounce that?
I don't know. We're gonna screw it up. It's gonna be fun. Rage versus Infront tonight. OpenCup RTCW finals. Insomnia, you have a little information. Maybe you can tell us what these teams have faced, who they've faced, what their records are, etc., to bring them where they are now. If you're there. Check, check, come in. Insomnia, I am your father. He always does this to us, DeeAy.
Dude, can you hear me? I've got some problems here. I've got some problems here. Help me.
Red 5 standing by. Alright. Alright, D. Do you have any information about what these teams have gone through to get here today?
Does this work?
Jesus! H. Christ.
What's going on?
DeeAy, take over the show. Give me some rundown, some stats, some information on what the teams have gone through to get to this point in EuroCup. Or OpenCup, my bad.
Well, the OpenCup ladders are a lot bigger than the EuroCup ladders. Taking a look at the website, which is www.clanbase.com, for those of you who want to go check it out. The OpenCup was actually split up into 3 divisions. We've got Division 1, 2, and 3. We are covering the Division 1 finals tonight. And just taking a look at this ladder, they had to play a lot of matches to get where they are tonight. And this is just the playoffs, so you don't forget, you know, there was a whole lot of stuff to go through in the season as well. But there is a great number of teams in the OpenCup, so to actually get to the finals is a very big accomplishment indeed. And, you know, it's going to be a good matchup, these two teams tonight. Exciting to see what is going to happen. And theoretically, Insomnia's microphone will start working sometime soon, and he can give us some more information.
Come on.
Hey, we can hear you.
Hello.
Ah! Come on.
Whoa,
Hey,
there we
buddy.
go.
We can really,
Okay, I
we
think
can
it
really
works now.
hear you now. Yeah. So, give us some information on the teams here. Rage versus Infront. What have they gone through to get this far? Is the eternal question. Oh my God.
Hey. I've got some problems here. I've got to wait.
I'm putting you on mute. Yeah, he's on mute. See ya. Wouldn't want to be out of here.
PsychoServers.com is your direct source for all your online gaming needs. Offering one-stop shopping for high-quality game server rentals, web hosting, and voice communication hosting tailored for the needs of competitive gaming. Psycho Servers specialize in assisting customers to attain a fierce presence on the online gaming community. They take the hassle out of getting the things you need, leaving more time for you to stomp out the competition. Psycho Servers offer custom tailored services, prices, and the support to fit your needs. They pride themselves on offering personal attention to you, the gamer, thus the online community as a whole. So just remember, www.psychoservers.com. Insane performance, crazy prices.
Alright guys, we are back. We are live here. It is Return to Castle Wolfenstein, about to kick ass and take names here in just a moment. Let me tell you what, guys, you guys tired of refreshing server lists each and every time you play a game? You sick of waiting half of forever for server IPs and information just to see where your friends are playing? Well, Clanbase feels your pain. That's why they have created a brand new, totally free server program that's going to give you guys constant updates on your favorite gaming servers. It's called CB Watch, from the same guys who host your kick-ass Clanbase servers. It's a program that runs in your system tray, and it keeps constant track of all your favorite servers for all your favorite games. It even notifies you when a server has to http cbwatch.clanbank.com. That's http cbwatch.
To Krista from the Infront team. Always have to give a shout out and props to any females.
Alright, let me take a quick gander here at my IRC. I'm feeling a little bit thrown off here. Let's see here. Ares, I believe, is the name. You know, the Europeans have got the craziest RTCW names I've ever seen. Ares, he says, haha, every game I am going to send you a shout out. Anyway, to all the Israeli RTCW division players who are listening. So that's a big shout out from Ares tonight. From Pig, he's saying, yeah, you need the type auto download 0. Yeah, we learned that. This server is set to Gayness, so CO allow download game app 0. Apparently, is what I needed to set things at tonight, DA.
Yeah, that'll do it. I also have a shout out. Want to give a shout out from Jizor to Lena. Apparently, Jizor loves Lena, so that's very nice. That's coming through Insomnia, and there you go.
Brilliant out there says, hey, we got Warwitch in the big speaker, so apparently he's got it hooked up in some kind of like wild stereo setup. That's badass. It's going to be some good fun tonight. You might want to turn those speakers down, because DA and I tend to shout. We'll get all quiet, we'll whisper, and then BAM! We'll get all loud like that, so...
Things will fall off your desk. It's great fun. I've just been told that apparently I'm the fake DA, and you know, I've been actually DA or some form of DA since I was about 14, and I'm thinking I'm not the fake DA. So that's all I have to say about that.
Well, the map tonight is not the fake assault either. It is MP assault, and it is the Axis on the offensive push, trying to take down that comm tower. You know the story, you know the drill. If you're dialed in, there is no doubt about it. You are an RTCW vet for the OpenCup RTCW finals tonight. Now, we've got a little information on Wolf TV. DA, maybe you've got that IP standing by.
I do indeed just need to find it in this myriad of messages that I've got going on here, so I will ramble senselessly. There we go. Wolf TV is at games2.online.no port 10000. One more time, Wolf TV is at games2.online.no port 10,000. So connect, sync us up, and have a good time.
Booyah! Game on! And let us pray. It's a good one. 9-4-2 on the clock tonight. Axis offense, INF Infront versus the Rage Allied defense. I'm not even going to give you a rundown of the rosters because I can barely pronounce them. We've got like Zap and someone and Amon and Krista and Wu, so I can pronounce those ones right there. And then for the Rage roster, Singo, Maria, Red, Bone, Inreal, and someone. So we got a lot of Wolf players here on the server. 914 on the clock. What's going down, DA?
We've got some great sniper rifle action going on here. We have got Red of the Rage team doing a lot of damage with his sniper rifle, as well as Oman from the Infront team. Axis team has breached that gate area, and they have control of the forward deployment flag. We've got Iman with his sniper rifle hanging out in the Axis spawn area. But across the tarmac now, all is quiet, but there's action going on somewhere. There's 8 minutes and 44 seconds on the clock, and we've got the Axis Infront team making their way across the tarmac, and a lot of damage being done with that sniper rifle. Red has got 2 more kills from across the tarmac as the dynamite gets planted at the warehouse entrance. So nice Panzer from Bone of the Rage team taking out Wu and Zap. There's a lot of exclamation points on this server.
You know, absolutely, 8:21 is on the clock right here, right now. Big shout out once again to our admins tonight, Insomnia, and no one who are watching over the game, making sure all is good and well. Heading down to the garage now. Let's head down to the spiral and take a look and see what we got going down. Axis incoming. INF squad in front managed to breach the warehouse door. We're inside the garage now, where INF severely control it. There is no resistance from the Allies here. It looks like the Allies falling around to the tower to defend the tower. We've got the Axis all over the garage right here, DA, and these guys are going to be making a rush here in just a moment, upwards and outwards towards the comm tower with 747. Nice Panzerfaust right there from Bone of Rage, laying it down yet again. And at 741, we're just waiting for the action down from the garage up towards the comm tower, where we've got the lieutenants, the soldiers, and the medics standing by for the Rage defense tonight at 730. Yellow, all you.
Good control of the garage area by the incoming Axis team. I'm watching the engineer right now. We've got pinned for the Infront team, making his way cautiously up the spiral, just making sure what kind of defense that his team is about to face. The Allies, though, reclaim that gate area, so they're going to have to make this push a good one, because they're going to spawn all the way back in over at the Axis spawn point, very far away from the communication tower of Happy Fun Times. Right now, though, the Axis team does have good control of the garage area. They're just sitting here taking their time. There is still just under 7 full minutes on the clock, so they've got plenty of time to get in there and get that communication tower blown up. But they seem to be taking a lot of time to just regroup themselves, making sure everything is nice and good and comfortable. But here we go up the spiral now. We've got lots of support fire coming from the coming from the defending Allied team. Axis recapture their gate area. The engineer is down. Can a medic get to him in time? No. A Panzerfaust and some support fire take out both the medic and the engineer, and right now gunfire on top of the hill. Alright, you watching all this?
Yeah, watching the action, and that attempt right there from the incoming Infront roster was just scrambled and shut down. What happened is they hit the iron wall of the Allied defense tonight, and they just could not get it done. As they came out of the spiral, they were peppered with a grenade spam. They were slammed hard with the Panzerfaust and an airstrike from the Allied coalition forces. So it was game as the hell is the over for that incoming rush. And the unfortunate thing is that it actually took Infront about a solid minute just to kind of hang out in the garage unmolested to get their attack plan in order. That being said, it failed and failed badly at 547. These guys are really going to have to turn up the heat if they're going to have any chance whatsoever of penetrating the Allied defense.
Absolutely. You can take a little bit of time this early in the map, but you can't do that very often, or you're going to cost yourself precious seconds. And as we saw yesterday, sometimes 4 or 5 seconds is all you need. Yesterday we had a plant time of 9:56, and that was good enough to win the round for that team, and then consequently win the game. So, the seconds are very, very important. You may think you got still 7 whole minutes to go, but that will go by very, very quickly. We had some nice panzer fire happening inside the garage, taking out the Axis engineer, who seems to be making the common mistake of basically heading the charge. We've got Bone of the Rage team doing a great job with his Panzer all the way across the tarmac, taking out the incoming Infront Axis team. But I've got a problem with people who have their rushes happening and have the engineer in front on an engineer intensive map. I don't understand why you do that. For the love of God, protect your engineer. And that is my TSN RTCW rant.
Oh, the humanity, for the love of God, indeed. Now, what we've got here is we've got Rage situated. If you leave the Allied spawn and you swing left to that little rampart citadel side on the left-hand side behind the bomber, that is where Rage is basically standing. He's got the Panzerfaust, and he's opening fire to any Axis that are coming up the Allied spawn side ladder towards the rampart that leads to the comm tower. It's been very successful so far. At the moment, we do not see him in position there. It looks like he may have abandoned that defensive position in favor of a new choice. Now, we do have some of the Axis coming in onesies and twosies across the tarmac here. Several members now making the push. Krista and friends are making the charge. We got an engineer down here, but he's down. It was pinned, and he's blown away by the Thompson of Rage. Down right there, unable to be revived. The corpse is killed. Krista, who was engaged with the Allied team on the left-hand side of the comm tower, does come out on top, but she is unable to make the revivals of her engineer, and that is going to cost her time. 3:48 on the clock right here, as now the Allies still try to fortify, dropping airstrikes. It's medic now versus medic versus lieutenant, and Krista is in charge of the comm tower, but she is a medic, and that ain't any good at 336 here tonight as the Allies now beginning to reinforce. We're looking for an engineer as a Leutman now joins the fray for the INF squad. We're near the comm tower right now, standing by, waiting for the Axis engineer at 324. DeeAy, are they going to be able to hold off the incoming Allied respawn? I don't think so.
Hard to say. We've only got 2 members of the Infront Axis team on the communication tower right now, 1 medic and 1 lieutenant. We need an engineer to get his butt over here quickly if we want anything to happen. Long distance MP40 and Panzer fire is doing some damage, but Maria goes down from an MP40 fire. Right now we've got the Allies starting to get onto that tower right now, and there was the engineer for the Axis team, but he was taken out. MP40 fire, it just got in his way. Not going to happen. Medic is still alive, but I don't think they're going to be able to get to them in time. There's lots and lots of crossfire happening, and one more time, the Rage Allied team has control of the communication tower. There's 2 minutes and 40 seconds left. The Infront team starting to run out of time if they want to get that communication tower blown up. Going to have to make probably time for another 1 or 2 good solid pushes. They're going to have to come in as a group, as an entire force, otherwise we're going to have some trouble, especially with the sniper fire and the Panzer fire coming from the Rage team. Red and Bone are definitely forces to contend with here tonight, but pinned, the engineer for the Infront team, still trying to make his way, heading towards the garage right now, and he's got 2 minutes and 12 seconds on the clock, so he's got about a minute and a half to get up there and get that dynamite planted.
Once again now, we're going to track the Axis inside of the Allied garage down below right here. We've got pinned the engineer for the Axis INF squad. He's looking good, taking some ammunition down below, brought to you by the Leutnant for his team, whose name I cannot pronounce. Hello! And awaiting now 2 members of the Axis army down here. The engineer is considering going up the spiral alone with no escorts. He's going to do it. I'm not sure why, because he knows he's going to be facing full Allied opposition down there. Thinks better of it and heads back down to the garage where he's waiting now for the medics and the rest of his squad to gear up. Once again pinned. The engineer just wants to go it alone. He wants to head out there cowboy style, but he cannot do that. He's got to be backed up by his entire squad. It's all about the engineer. Once again pinned now, going up the spiral, Penn peeking outwards, dangerously so, to find out opening up with some machine gun fire right there. Penn taking some fire of his own, but standing by, still looking good. Charge now incoming up the spiral now, waiting for some kind of action. Incoming airstrikes. Penn diving back down below, and again the INF squad really taking their time to make an assault here tonight. It almost seems like they cannot decide when to call the attack. They're now engaging up the rabbit hole, hand over hand ladder that leads to the comm tower, considering possibly entering from this side or maybe posing a distraction here to bring the Rage squad over to the left so they can attack up the spiral. 49 seconds, they better do something fast, and here's the rush now. They realize they are running out of time, and here's they come, charging forward. Let's track the action as Leutnant, medics, and engineers are bounding forward with 37 seconds, quickly approaching garbage time. 35, 33, 32, 31. It's the 30-second warning, and that is all she wrote. Good game. INF unable to get a plan, and it looks like the Rage team is going to have all the time in the world to get something done in round 1, set number 2. All you.
Absolutely. It looks like the Infront team took way too much time trying to figure out their strategy before they decided to make a push. They made a push with about 16 seconds to spare, and they were immediately cut down by the Allied Rage team. Not going to do it. They wasted a lot of time hovering inside the garage, just basically running back and forth, heading to the spiral, heading to the ladder, heading back again. There's only a 3-man team. Not sure where the rest of the Infront team was, but Good job by the Rage team, held them off for the complete 10 minutes, and now they've got 10 minutes to try and get that communication tower blown up. Score is still 0-0. We are about to begin round number 2 of set number 1. This is the Open Cup Division 1 Finals. We've got Rage versus Infront on TSN with Warwitch and DeeAy.
You know, I really want to know, what is the actual true definition? I always call it round 1, or round 1, set 2. You call it set 1, round 2. Who's doing it wrong, you or me?
I actually don't know, but my reasoning behind calling it set 1, round 2 is that a set usually has more than one thing in it. So that's why I kind of go, okay, there's 2 rounds per set. That's the way I look at it. But I've been known to be wrong before. Not very often. I'm very rarely wrong, but you know, it has happened once or twice.
And I've always said round and set 1, set 2. Who knows? I think they get the idea though. So in the immortal words of DeeAy, it is set number 1, round number 2, or Warwitch, round number 1, set number 2. And if you're not confused yet, well, get ready. This next engagement is brought to you by Clanbase. Back at live at home.
There's nothing worse than a competitive team without a server to call home, always begging others for practice space, having to give up the home field advantage every match, and generally not getting the respect you deserve. Pro teams need a home, and Clanbank has the answer. Clanbank offers fast and powerful game servers for almost all of the popular internet multiplayer games. Get hosted with servers for games like Quake 3 Arena, Half-Life, Jedi Knight 2, Return to Castle Wolfenstein, and Soldier of Fortune 2. They also host many popular mods such as Urban Terror, Counter-Strike, Team Fortress Classic, Day of Defeat, Rocket Arena, and Team Arena. Visit www.clanbank.com right now and check out the best prices around for private and public server hosting for your team. It's cheaper than you think, and it will give your team the competitive edge you need to be the best. www.clanbank.com.
TSN.
That is Sauerkraut in mein Lederhosen.
Yeah, I'm TSN.
Come on! Back in game right now. And Rage have the chance as the Axis offensive push. To beat the time, DeeAy, we've got 9:04 on the clock. You've been tracking the action down here in the battlefield. What has happened so far?
Lots of action so far. Good offensive pushes by the Rage team. Had a couple of nice penalty fires taking out the incoming defense for the Infront roster. Lots of support fire being thrown out across the tarmac as the Infront team killing themselves, get a small Mac in, and something maybe a little bit different. But the Axis team of Rage has already started to make a good push across the tarmac, making their way, heading towards the garage. Dynamite has been planted at the warehouse entrance. The gate hatch has already been blown, and there's 8 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock as Yuri, the guy with the weirdest name ever, gets nice support fire, taking out Maria of Team Rage. So far now, the tarmac is clear, and the Axis team is going to have to regroup and come back in for another push at that communication tower.
Standing by at 8:13 on the clock right now. Just a sporadic sprinkling of Axis corpses across the tarmac here. www.tsncentral.com is the website address in which the Shoutcast is brought to you by. Now we're in the Allied Garage, and the INF squad looking good. They've got it locked down. They're looking down the lower spiral. They're waiting for any incoming through the door. As we're going to head outside across the tarmac now to take a look and take a gander. Here's the Axis sporadically incoming right there. A little artillery support from Wu takes down Rage and shells him into oblivion. See ya. Moving across that tarmac, 7:41. The Axis are bounding from box to box. Little sniper rifle going on from Oman. Sniper rifle INF squad takes down Rage. Rage revived right there by the medic, who appears to be uncertain. No. Rage taken down, trying to make a revival on his teammates. Very nice sniper rifle. Very nice crossfire setup right here from the INF squad. Taking a quick gander. They've got a 3-man assault, a 3-man defense rather, on the right hand, or rather left hand side of the Allied spawn. If you leave Allied spawn and swing left over on the crates and barrels behind the bomber, we've got 1 sniper, a lieutenant, and a medic over here, and then a 3-man split inside the garage. So they're going with a 3-and-3 split on the defense here tonight for the Allied team. INF squad at 657. Incoming push-ups. The Axis now across the tarmac. We've got a 4, 5, maybe 6-man push, trying to get something done, trying to penetrate the support fire, but Wu is laying the hurt down. Incoming. Bombs away. Maria and Bone taken down from the Rage roster at 640.
Out on the tarmac right now, everything is quiet. Support fire is all over the place. Lieutenants are really earning their pay tonight. 6:30 on the clock as the Axes straggle in a couple more times. We've got Maria and Bone, a medic and a lieutenant. No sign of any engineer anywhere near the tarmac or the tower. Lots of crossfire set up by the INF team right now. The machine gun fire coming from the crates over by the Allied spawn, doing a great job of laying out that machine gun fire and those very important artillery strikes. Not so much Panzer fire work from the Infront team tonight, but they're doing a great job with everything else that they have. Allies have reclaimed the gate area, something that is going to cost the Axis team quite a lot, but right now on top of the hill, Axis have made a very good push. We've got 3 of them on here. We've got 2 medics and a lieutenant, it looks like, but we have a green light on the tower. Engineer managed to sneak up there. Admiral has dynamite planted on that communication tower of Happy Fun Times. 5:40 is on the clock. Tower dynamite has been planted. Now we just need to guard that for the next 30 seconds. No sign of any Allied defense anywhere near the tower, so this is looking very good for the Rage team.
Countdown is underway. It looks like INF extended themselves too far, and we've got the Axis in control. Red light district underway. The countdown is now on as the Axis control the tower. 5:19 on the clock. Booyah! It looks like Rage is going to take the tower down, and it's over. 1-0 in favor of Rage tonight. Managed to get it done as INF spread themselves too thin and lose the point tonight.
Very nice time set. 4:45. Heading into set number, now I'm all confused. Set number 2, round number 1 in just a few seconds. Take a look at some of the efficiencies here overall. Rage coming in with only 30% efficiency, and INF in front, on the other hand, had 69% overall. Fury coming in with an 85% efficiency, very nice indeed, but even with 30% efficiency, that was more than enough for the Rage team to get in there and get a plant time. 4:45 is what they managed to set, and don't forget, in the first round, Infront was unable to set a time in the complete 10 minutes, so Rage is now up 1-0 over the Infront team, and everyone is just about almost ready to begin the next set.
Alright, round 2, set 1, brought to you by PsychoServers.com.
PsychoServers.com. Alright, here's the deal, kids.
If you're looking for game server hosting with insane performances at a price that's just plain crazy,
You know, in a good kind of crazy way.
you need to pay a visit to Psycho Servers. Formerly known as Dragoon's Lair Gaming, Psycho Servers is renovating itself and bringing gamers the best possible price and performance for affordable game server hosting.
You can't afford to pass up giving these guys a look. The prices will impress you, and the game selection is great too.
www.psychoservers.com. Go crazy.
TSN.
The goggles, they do nothing.
Well, I think by now the listeners understand that when they hear the alarm, it's time to rock and roll. 150 dialed in tonight for Euro RTCW Open Cup Championship. Booyah! I am the Warwitch, and with me on the mic, DeeAy of Destruction, Axis Shoutcasting at its finest. Round 2, set number 1, score 1-0 in favor of Rage on MP Assault tonight. DeeAy, what is happening now? Well, very quickly before I hand it to you, the INF squad is once again on the defensive, meaning that Rage has got the momentum. They've just come out of the last engagement, having set a good time of 4:45. Going up 1-0, now they've got that momentum. They're rolling over France. They're feeling good, and they're making the assault. INF here, what they need to do, DeeAy, is they need not to make the same critical mistake. Spread themselves too thin. Try to make the reclamation midfield is a bad idea for these guys. They need to get back to the comm tower and ensure that none of the Axis are able to sweep in and get that plan. That's what happened last time, and it cost them the point. 8:19 is on the clock. Give us a rundown of the action so far.
Rage has made a very aggressive stance on this round. They actually went all the way across the tarmac, reviving each other as they went, doing a very good job of staying alive, made it all the way to the garage, and had just about taken out all of the defense set up by the Infront team, but then Krista swept in from behind and took out the remaining couple of Axis teams, had a bunch of revivals going on all the time, but the Allies managed to come out on top and shut down that Axis push. Right now, though, Axis trying to make another push across the tarmac. We've got the Rage team. They're all gathered by the boxes, reviving each other as they go. They're very good at basically taking a shot and then reviving themselves. Right now, they are heading inside the warehouse, doing a little bit of a different strategy than what we've seen in the past. Usually, they'll try to blow the gate hatch, but then just take the outside tarmac route anyways. But right now, we do have a force of them inside the warehouse. No engineer in sight, though, and Dynamite has been planted at the warehouse entrance, so I guess I couldn't see the engineer because, there he was. Dynamite has been planted, though, and now everyone moving back outside onto the tarmac, trying to make a push on that garage to get up there and get that communication tower blown up. Good defense set up by the Infront team. We've got lots of sniper rifle fire, we've got lots of grenades, lots of artillery support strikes, so they're doing a great job at holding them off, but the medics from the Rage team are just on the ball tonight. They know what's going on, they know who needs to be revived. They're far better medics than I am, and there is 6:50 on the clock.
Well, the warehouse door has been breached here tonight. Incoming push from Rage in last engagement. They yielded them a 1-0 lead. 6:38 on the clock right now. We've got several members across the tarmac trying to get something done. Rage, Singo taking some heavy crossfire right there, and decides to dive down inside the lower reaches and head up the lower spiral as opposed to taking it up the tarmac right here. A 3-man push. It looks like Rage is all hopping down. We've got them heading down to the ship, to the hallways down below the warehouse doors, down below, making their way and their assault outwards and upwards through the door, through that warehouse door, up the lower spiral, where we got like a 4 or 5, maybe a 6-man push incoming now. Here they come! Rage into the garage from this direction, taking the Allies by surprise, but they're taking major grenade fire and they are ambushed. Nice revivals being made, but they're being pinned down in the stairwells. The Axis are facing a firing squad, but the medics are persistent tonight, bounding forward, getting it done. Blitzkrieg, Schnell, the Führer commands that the Allies are taken down here in the garage, and I'm trying to see out who comes out on top. INF reclaimed the gate area here tonight, and ultimately through that rush, INF Allied defense holds in the Allied garage. They also reclaim the gate area, and that is a successful defense right there for the INF Allied squad.
Absolutely. Lots and lots of machine gun fire in that stairwell. Very good use of grenades. We had almost the entire Axis team downstairs trying to come up through the basement, through the spiral, and they were successfully shut down by the Infront team. Now we've got the Rage team recapturing that gate area and making their way across the tarmac one more time. Engineer in the front, not sure why everyone insists on doing that, but we'll just let it go this time. Making their way across the tarmac, splitting up just a little bit so they're not going to be good pickings for a Panzerfaust should there be one in the vicinity. We've got the engineer and a medic going up the right-hand side now, heading towards the ladder by the Allied spawn. Seeing if they're going to have any better luck that way. Engineer, of course, in front one more time, taking machine gun fire, and the medic managed to survive. Engineer did not.
Over the hand-over-hand ladder now. Incoming action and carnage as we got a 3 to 4 man push. Nice revivals being made. Rampart side, right-hand side. Nice sniping rifle going on right here. Here's the bounding charge forward to the comm tower right here. But they are taking some serious crossfire, and that push from the Rage roster is again shut down. They've got 4:16 on the clock, and it looks like the INF squad have learned their lesson from the last engagement. They're able to successfully hold off Rage this time around. They've got to do it for another 4 minutes if they plan to hold them off. 1-0 is the score for Rage right now. DeeAy, yellow.
4 minutes on the clock. Still lots of support fire, lots of machine gun fire coming out from across the tarmac. We've got Rage trying to make a push one more time. Zap from the Infront team, sneaking around the boxes, trying to take someone out from behind. Not quite successful. Down he goes. Axis are still alive. We've got a split strategy going on here with 3 men heading towards the Allied ladder, 3 men heading towards the garage, including the engineer. We've got gunfire happening all over the place. 3 minutes and 34 seconds left on the clock. Engineer storms into the garage area only to be met with the MP40 of Yuri. Looks like we've got lots of gunfire. Engineer is still alive, Enril still alive, and he manages to make it now, making his way up the ladder, only to be met with gunfire as we've got Krista the medic sitting on top of the hill just waiting for someone to stick their head out of that hole, and that's what the engineer did. 3:12, another unsuccessful push for the Rage team, in for doing a great job of holding them off. The Infront team got their stuff together, and their defense this round has been much better than it was in the first round, but there's still 3 minutes to go. We've got 2.5 minutes for the engineer to get their butt on top of that tower, get something planted, and Rage is going to do all they can to make sure that happens.
You know, it shows that the Infront team are very good at adaptation tonight. They are able to get it done. Now we've got just kind of a sporadic lull in the action here as we're standing by to call the shots. Waiting to get excited here tonight. It is RTCW OpenCup Finals, the finale. It's the final game between Rage and Infront tonight. Score 1-0 right now in favor of Rage. But now Infront really quickly learning how to defeat these guys. Allied Defense MP Assault. Round 2 is set number 1 tonight at 2:18 on the clock. Let's stand by for some action. Do not see any of the axes anywhere. Maybe a couple sporadic axes by the Allied Garage down here. Charging forward and real pounding inside, but cut down by Major Crossfire. Man, it's Major Carnage. Kicking ass down there. 203 INF still in charge. And it really looks like that the incoming Rage Team DeeAy are coming in onesies, twosies, threesies, and being cut apart by the Ironheart defense of the Allies tonight.
Absolutely, lots of machine gun fire. We've got the medics and the lieutenants definitely earning their pay here tonight as we do a great job of cutting up the incoming axis. They are coming up in 1s and 2s, and that is just not a good strategy for MP Assault. There is 1 minute and 36 seconds on the clock, about a minute for the engineer to get in there and get the dynamite planted in that communication tower. Otherwise, we're going to start this round as a repeat of last round with a complete hold. Not looking too likely for the Rage team to get in here, though, but stranger things have happened. The defense set up by the Inf team is very good, but here we go. Engineer on top of the tower. Enreal right now, Engineer for the Rage team has a green light on the tower right now. 1 minute and 10 seconds on the clock. Moves over, and dynamite has been planted. We do have a plan, but our grenade takes out the engineer just after he gets that dynamite planted, and we don't have an engineer for the Allied team. That was a grenade coming from a medic, so while it was good enough to get rid of the engineer still alive, there is no one to defuse that dynamite. Going to go off in just a couple of seconds here. 46 seconds on the clock, just waiting for that dynamite to tick down as I babble. It's going to happen now, any second.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and yellow is down. The tower is out of here, and that is a critical play. Time set at 9:21. Not a good time at all, but keep this in mind. Rage know how to hold off in front for the entire 10 minutes. They can do it. They improve. They've got what it takes. And so setting a time of 9:21 is basically saying they have got themselves a 2-0 lead in the basket tonight. DeeAy 9-2-1. Brought to you by the Rage Engineer. We're going to find out what the INF squad could do. Let's talk some efficiencies, all you.
Taking a look at what happened in that round. Infront coming out on top with 67% efficiency. Star of that team tied between Yuridi and Krista at 72%. We also had Oman with a 76% overall. Krista just kicked a lot of ass in that round. Lots of machine gun fire coming from her. Nice job. For the Rage team, we had a 32% efficiency with Maria coming in with 47% overall. Nice work. 9:21 is the time that Infront needs to be in order to tie the game up. Otherwise, Rage will go up 2-0. 9:21 doesn't sound like that impressive of a time, but don't forget yesterday we saw this happen. 9:56 was the time set by the Barcodes team, and that won them the game. So you gotta figure, yeah, it's a lot of time, but anything can happen in those 9 minutes and 21 seconds.
Well, a quick break for station ID, and back in 10 seconds. You're
listening to TSN on Speakeasy.
If you had Speakeasy, you'd be there now. And we're back. Look at that. I promised as the Ox of Shoutcast of DeeAy of Destruction would be back to call the shots. A big salute to all of our listeners out there tonight. Pound TSN Central, QuakeNet IRC. Be there. www.tsncentral.com is the website. We are your leaders for online game shoutcasting tonight. Alright, 8:44 on the clock here tonight. Rage, Allied Defense versus incoming Axis push. Can INF get it done? DeeAy, let me pose you this question. What does INF need to do to penetrate an ironclad Rage defense?
They need to figure out what kind of defensive strategy they are looking at here tonight. We've got lots of lots of sniper rifle fire coming from both teams, as well as the Panzerfaust of Bone from the Rage team. But you need to sort of figure out where they're focusing their defense on and basically go the opposite way. We have the gate hatch was completely ignored by the incoming Infront team, but an engineer has just gone downstairs and is now actually at the warehouse. At least that's where I think they're going. No sign of them now. 8:04 on the clock. Gate hatch has not been blown. Warehouse has not been blown. But coming up the spiral, it looks like we've got an early push. Warwitch, what's happening?
It's a very early push. The crowd on their feet. Here they come. The Axis pounding forward amidst a halo of airstrikes. That push is denied. Shut down. You ain't going anywhere, Germans. The Allies are here to kick ass and take some names at 7:34 on the clock. Rage, hold out their hands. Halt. And the rush of the Axis, not going to happen. Very early push up the spiral. 3-man push, denied by the defense of Rage. Take a look here on the comm tower. We've got Maria, a lieutenant, or rather a lieutenant for the Army right there. We've got about a 5-man defense right here around the hillock surrounding the comm tower. It looks like Rage have fallen completely back and are going to try to hold off the Axis right here where it matters, around the comm tower, allowing the Axis to come to them and then shutting them down when they bring their heads up the spiral or up that rabbit hole. 658 is on the clock, DA. We're going to hand it back to you.
And Dynamite has left at that warehouse entrance now.
Oh, Rogue Sounder.
Warwitch just got some firing of the Sounders here, but 6:44 on the clock. Dynamite planted at the warehouse entrance. More panic fire coming from Bone as the Axis team has breached the warehouse door. Gives them another route to try and get to the communication towers and up the spiral. Here they come. Engineer not in the lead. That makes me so happy to see. But they're being met with a lot of fire coming from the Rage Allied team, as well as support fire and sniper rifle fire is doing a lot of damage to the incoming Rage team. Oh man, I'm so confused. So I'll throw it back to Warwitch.
All right, you got it. Incoming Rage roster. Oh wait, now you got me doing it. Allies are the Rage team. Let's just back things up here tonight. Allied defensive Rage setting a time, and round 2, set number 1 of 9:21 have taken the Allied defense here tonight. They're waiting, standing their guard in a very defensive position. They're around the comm tower. They're not fighting for midfield. They're not really doing much to defend the Allied garage. They're more concerned about the comm tower. This can be risky. If they do get taken down, it's going to be a hard bounce to make the respawn and get their engineers in position in time, meaning also with this kind of defense that they are allowing INF to attack full force on the comm tower, relying on their own skill to hold against that incoming tidal wave to get something done. 5:25 is on the clock here tonight, looking for any incoming offensive push. I don't think Rage has much to worry about. Very sporadic onesie and twosie styled offense right here from the Axis team. Not really doing a lot. It's very quiet at the 5:12 mark.
We do have a couple people on the spiral. We've got a lieutenant and a medic trying to hold things back, but here is the engineer. We've got pinned for the Infront team. Everyone is just doing a little bit of square dancing inside the garage right now, taking their time. Engineer opens up the garage door to exchange some machine gun fire with the Allies across at the Allied spawn, now deciding to peek up the ladder and see what's going on, maybe try and make a break for it, and there he goes, engineer sticking his head out, and oh look, there are a whole lot of Allied people standing outside of that ladder, so he decides to duck back down and go out the garage door instead. There is 4:37 left on the clock. Support fire and sniper rifle fire is doing a lot of damage here tonight. Engineer, though, still alive. The Axis have control of the warehouse, but getting up towards that communication tower is going to prove to be a little bit difficult as the Rage team, they're all over the place and they want to make sure nothing happens. Axis team does have control of the tower though right now. There are no engineers. We've got a lieutenant and a couple of medics. They need to hold the fort down long enough for that engineer to get his butt back over here, and they have 4 minutes and 8 seconds in which to do it. And here we go, pinned, making his way up the ladder. We do have an engineer on the communication tower of Happy Fun Time. Got a green light, leaning over to make that dynamite plant now. 3:54 on the clock, and we have a plant on the tower.
We could be looking at a tied ball game here tonight. Rage already saying good game as out of nowhere INF sweep in with a nice plant on the comm tower. They come up from the spiral. They have figured Rage out tonight. Countdown underway. 3, 3, 3 on the clock, and let's stand by as we looking at a tied ball game in the OpenCup RTCW Finals. Yellow, the tower is down. See ya. 557.
5:57 is the time that Infront was able to bring that communication tower down in. The score is currently tied at 1 round apiece. Rage and Infront tied at 1, and now we are moving on to not assault like no one seems to think, since we are actually on assault, but we're actually moving to village, and that's where we're going.
Well, the RTCW extravaganza. We'll be back here in a moment to continue the carnage and the excitement that you've come to expect from the Team Sportscast Network. I am TSN Warwitch. We've got TSN DeeAy, and we are back and live here in just a moment. Stand by.
First time listening to TSN. Don't know what's going on. Well, I guess we should take a few seconds here and bring you up to speed, noob.
TSN, the Team Sportscast Network, proudly presents the best of the TSN.
They are chucking in just tons of grenades trying to buy time. Here comes Code Red and Rimshot trying to get through. Rimshot taking down a couple of players. Now Valdez and Messenger mixing it up along with Cancer. Cancer getting repaired a little bit. Jones is now back up on his feet. And most of the allied players are down, but looks like they're going to get the plant. Abuse is going to get the plant. Rimshot trying to get in and get that plant down. Jones being killed by, looks like Shogun. Shogun killing both of the players. Now he gets the second plant. The allies are able to recover. 1 minute left to go. They have got to get to this second tower.
Platinum bot of Sapphire Blade with the flag, throwing it back towards his spawning area, where it's going to get picked off by Shady with a beautiful pass. Jackpot now maxed out at 250, but there's an interception by Absolute. He is close to the Sapphire Blade goal, but he does not have any momentum, so he's going to throw it real high, waiting for somebody to pick it up. And Invictus does it, and Invictus has the momentum, and he's got a shot at the goal, and he takes it, and he scores!
0-4, grabbing a railgun, and Daler trying to take him out with some close-range rockets, not able to, as 0-4 continues his lead in this match, 7-0. Nice close-range rail by 0-4. That ain't the easiest thing in the world to do. That's the second time I've said ain't. I swear to God I can speak English.
Franco just jumps off the front hill. Franco is going with the flag, and he is across the midfield area now. He's only got about a third of his health left. He took a lot of pain coming off that Escort. No, that is not an Escort. That is SS from Entropy. He will take him out midfield with the disc and return that flag.
Oh, and a mid-air rail by Team takes Lagwagon down to 12 health. Lagwagon on the run now. Comes out of the portal, finding Fiend waiting for him with a shotgun. They're going to have a little bit of a battle right in the lava. Score is 10-0, but Fiend came out of that with 12 health. Blows himself up.
Let's review, shall we? Earlier this summer, we covered UVA Land 4 live from Virginia.
All he's got to do is hold on to that flag. No, he can't do it. Oh, my God.
Then we moseyed on down to Texas and broadcasted QuakeCon live on location.
QuakeCon 2002, come on! Oh, yeah!
Then we got lost in New York City for the World Cyber Game US Finals.
WCG US Championships. You may cheer now.
After that, it was off to Korea for the World Cyber Game Grand Finale.
On day one of WCG 2002, I have finally connected to the stream. Not from home, not from New York, not from Dallas, but from Daejeon, Korea.
So, maybe we should take a break. Nah, that's where we've been.
This is where we're going.
QuakeCon 2003, live from Dallas, Texas. The Intel Masters Championships, the World Cyber Games in 2003, and your online favorites such as Bob 2. You're locked on to your esports revolution for 2003 and beyond. This is the Team Sportscast Network.
TSN. www.tsncentral.com
MP Village is clear. The Allies on the offensive push, grabbing the gold from an Axis crypt. You gotta get that gold out of the crypt, bring it back all the way through.
You have, oh boy, Yuride, Zap, Oman, Wu, Krista, and Pinned. And for the Allied team trying to steal that gold away from the Axis, we have Elpul, Enril, Maria, Sengo, Bone, and Jacko. And I think we've actually had a name change or a roster change here, because I don't remember Jacko from the first round.
Jacko Lantern. I really hope we get that webpage back up for you guys, so if you're connected, remember, just keep it rocking on that relay here tonight. The relay should still connect you to the Team Sportscast Network. We'll see. Game on! Axis Defense INF tonight. Incoming range Allied offensive push at 939, heading to the MG42 courtyard. You know the drill. They're making their way to the first chokehold, which is the tavern now. The tavern entrance where you've always got the Axis set up. Crossfire, Panzerfaust, and grenade. Here come the Allies! Charging forward! It's the army trying to get something done. Booyah! And shut down as the Axis deny them the push here tonight. They are in charge. INF looking good. DeeAy, initial push right there to the first and primary chokehold tonight is denied at 9:05 on the clock. The INF Axis defense looking good and passing it all back to you.
Absolutely, they're looking very strong here tonight on MP Village. There's 8:56 left on the clock, and they successfully shut down that first push by the incoming Allied Rage team. Looking out across the MG42 courtyard right now, we have nothing. No Allies in sight, but there is fire going on somewhere. Got some grenade kills and some MP40 and Thompson kills. Trying to find that action right now. Definitely not happening in the MG42 courtyard. So, Warwitch, do you have a lock on what's going on?
Dabbling with sounders. No lock on the action here right now. Still standing by for any kind of carnage. Very quiet on the northern front. Little Panzerfaust, long range. Let's head down to the wine cellar. Make our way across and head outside. Let's take a listen. Very quiet in the graveyard. No way, no way. We got some Allies incoming here. Here are the Allies, D. Charging through Axis spawn towards the graveyard now, and we got a green light brought to you by Bone. Rage leaning over, and taken down as the Axis charged forward. Now they are here. INF interpret the attack, and they shut down that three-man rush. Nice revivals being made from the Allies right here, trying to gain some kind of control here as Jacko Rage is making the revivals on Maria. Maria, the lieutenant, trying to get something done right here, and ultimately it's hard to see who's going to come out on top as the battle still continues around the crypt. Axis and Allies both running out of ammunition here tonight. 2-on-1, two Axis versus Maria, or rather Jacko from the Rage roster, and ultimately in that engagement at 7:30 remaining, Axis INF squad come out on top. They anticipate the rush, a green light placed on the crypt, but too little, too late, and at 7:22 it's back to you.
All is quiet at the crypt. We did have a green light, but the engineer was not able to complete that dynamite arming, and so far nothing has happened. The crypt is still in good shape. No holes blown into it. The gold is still safe, snug in the middle of that crypt. 7:05 on the clock right now. I'm going to swing back to the tavern where I hear lots of gunfire. Looks like the Rage team has decided to try the tavern route one more time. Right now, though, bodies flying all over the place. Nicely timed grenade by Oman, taking out both the medic and the person they were trying to revive. Jacko's still alive, still getting in there with his medic powers, reviving a couple of his teammates. We have Elpu and Jacko still alive. They're facing a lot of fire from the Infront Axis team, and the Axis team one more time comes out on top. But here are the rest of the Allies. We've got an engineer and a medic, it looks like. Going to try and fight their way through the carnage. but they're not having much luck, a little bit spread out, not able to get through the tavern and get to that flag. They want the forward deployment flag for their team. It would save them precious seconds to get over there. The dynamite still has to be planted, and that is a good 30 seconds before that blows up, and then you've got to run all the way back home with that gold. 6:11 on the clock, still plenty of time. Village is generally not a very fast map. It usually either goes to a full hold or, you know, about 8-9 minutes for an actual capture time. But one more time, Rage making a push on that tavern, and this time it looks like they've got a little bit of a jump on the Axis team.
Yeah, they're inside, they're bounding forward, they've got the nice crossfire established here. They do capture that northwest courtyard, and at 5:44, they do get it done. This time looking good, Large, head in charge. Incoming allies. Rage team now at the northwest courtyard can make their assault from there down to the wine cellar. We're going to head down and find out what direction they're taking. Little lag on the server there for a moment, heading up towards the crypt itself, where we do have some sporadic engagements, long-range machine gun fire. Some of the allies out here in the graveyard right now. Little Panzerfaust. No Thompson from the single of the Rage roster takes down Oman and Zap, who are both blown away. And we got ourselves a dynamite plant. DeeAy, it is in position. Brought to you by the allied engineer who managed to sneak in, drop that dynamite, pull out the pliers, and get it done. Green light is underway. Red light is underway. Let's get the countdown right now and hand it back to you.
We did have some support fire aimed. We got, an Axis engineer leaning over and pinned. Gets the defusement done. Does it for the Infront Axis team. Dynamite has been defused. Very good strategy. That will definitely cost the Rage team a lot of time. Must be just swearing their heads off right now. Would be an interesting place to be in their war room, but right now allies have to concentrate on getting back to the graveyard, getting to the crypt, and making sure their engineer gets another plant, and then maybe this time staying alive long enough to make sure that no one can come in and defuse it. Coming up now through the tavern, we've got, it looks like we had a couple of engineers and still alive, but no, engineer is now down. We've got a medic trying to make a revival. Don't think it's going to be possible, as Jacko doing a lot of damage. Have another green light on the crypt right now, but not going to be able to get in there. Wait a minute, yes, the engineer's still alive, but taking gunfire. Has been up and down and up and down. Have a green light. Dynamite is about to fade away, and nice, very nice job by the Infront Axis team, managing to stop a couple of very close calls by the allies to get that dynamite planted. Nice Panzerfaust from Yuri, taking out Bone and Jacko. Very powerful team for the Rage side, so that was a good move, eliminating them from the equation. There is 3:44 left on the clock.
Yeah, 3:44, as you said, now down to 3:38 here tonight. Very, very chaotic offense, very chaotic defense right now. You can hear the carnage. Machine gun fire opens up. Man, Axis versus Allies. At this point, not much to report. We're just kind of taking a look here and waiting for the next push up from the wine cellar now. It looks like we might have some of the allies down in the wine cellar. Taking a look down here. We do have the Rage squad waiting to get something done. Medic make the revivals down below. Incoming charge. Waiting, standing by. Allied coalition. Here they come. Bounding upwards. Bounding forward. Charging against the iron hard Axis defense of INF. INF trying to hold them off here tonight. INF, Krista, and friends. And here they come. Bounding forward. The army is here. The Marines are here. Trying to get something done. Who is in charge? The Axis are in charge, and a close-range Panzerfaust right there from Zamal is a name I cannot pronounce. Vaporizes himself, but takes down several allies with him, leaving sporadic Axis defense in position now. Everybody going down. Man, oh man, it's rockin' party time. Booyah, all you.
There is just a lot of carnage going on at the crypt right now. We've got still one man of the Rage team still alive. Sengo, the lieutenant, still alive, still kicking, playing a little bit of a cat and mouse game with the Axis members. But here come the rest of the Axis team, and they're going to make short work of him very, very quickly. Nice Panzerfaust from Yuri one more time. Bone and Sengo taken out. We've got a green light on the crypt, but a grenade from Krista. Oh my gosh, nice work indeed. Zap support fire taking out 3 members. Krista's grenade taking out 2, and Yuri's grenade taking out the last man. So the Axis team, very successful defense of that crypt. Just an incredible job managing to take out all 6 members in just a couple of nicely timed throws. Lieutenant and medics doing some great work there. 1:49 on the clock, and it is not looking good for the incoming Rage team to get that dynamite blown. Had a couple of close calls. We did have one plant who's had a lot of green lights, but nothing successful, nothing been blown. And coming out of the tavern, we do have the Allied team, and they're kind of hurting. Doesn't look good for them at all.
RTCW's history in the making. Engineer in position, green light, looking for the engineer now. Axis making the revivals around the crypt. I mean, it is Panzer time right there. 3-man. Panzerfaust kill takes down Bone Jacko and a Real of the Rage roster. And that is another green light that fades to gray. A touch of gray. Game over. 1:14 on the clock here tonight, and what a bloodthirsty game we have for you this evening. Rage are just unable to get anything done. Several very close attempts, but each time shut down. The 1-minute warning now sounding in the background. 57 seconds remains. The show must go on. Apparently having some troubles with the TSN website and might be having some troubles with our listeners connecting. Yellow, here's the green light leaning over now. Oh, Bone Rage leaning over. Dives a Panzerfaust and gets the plan at 44 seconds. But DeeAy, I think it's a little too late right now.
Absolutely. Dynamite is going to blow at about 15 seconds left on the clock, but it takes about 30 seconds to get that dynamite over to the truck. I've never seen it done in less than 30 seconds, and that is if there is absolutely no opposition standing in your way. Alpu getting a very nice grenade, taking out 3 members of the Infront team, Rage, Yuridi, and Krista, Yuridi, and Wu all going down from that grenade. Allies have broken into the crypt, but there is 13 seconds. They do grab the gold, though. We've got Sengo with the gold, making his way through the graveyard, and he has 7 seconds to get back to that truck, and unless he can teleport, I don't think it's going to happen.
No kidding. Time is out. And the Axis return the gold. Does the Axis win? Time set to 10 minutes on the clock here tonight, as Rage now have got to face INF Allied Offense.
They've got the full 10 minutes on the clock to do so. Let's take a look at the efficiencies for that last round. 58% for the defending Infront team. Very nice start of the team. Yuridi coming in with 71% overall. And for the Rage team, 41% efficiency as a team. Star of that team's got to be Elpool coming in at 54%. 10 minutes on the clock for Infront. Let's see what they can do on MP Village. About to start round number 2 of set number 1. MP Village score is tied 1 round apiece. Rage versus Infront Open Cup Division 1 Finals.
I'm an RCD. Keep it rocking.
I will do that. Still waiting on one player to ready up. It's been a very good match so far, but you pretty much come to expect that for these final matches. I think I'd be really disappointed if I came to a final match and had it be an absolute blowout. You got to figure amount of work that these two teams have put into getting to this position. You're not going to expect a blowout. Blowouts happen very early on, maybe in the first rounds of the playoffs, but when you get to the finals, skill level is very, very high, and it's going to be a battle all the way to the end. And everyone has readied up, so in 5 seconds we are going to begin this next round on MP Village. You are listening to TSN with your host, Warwitch and the DeeAy of Destruction. That would be myself. The map is underway, 9:53 on the clock, and here come the Infront team.
Well, Dee, yeah, it looks like we are toast. The game is the hell is over. No one can connect on server 1, so I think it's just you and I shoutcasting at this point, so for sake of recording posterity, we'll continue at 9:33 on the clock here tonight. The carnage and the action of RTCW extravaganza. 9:25, let's wait for the chokehold. I'm out of breath. I cannot speak at this point. Game over.
There is 9:17 left on the clock right now, heading into the MG42, trying to find out where those allies have gone. Looks like they've set up a little bit of a bunker outside of the MG42 courtyard, trying to maybe clear the room just a little bit before they can dive into that tavern and take control of this map. 9:01 on the clock. Things are fairly quiet, actually. We've got a couple of the Axis Rage team hanging out inside the tavern, and a couple of the allies waiting outside, waiting for their break to get in here and do a little bit of damage. Unsuccessful push so far, though. 8:47 on the clock. Everything is still quiet, and this has been actually a very quiet round so far.
I am still in IRC trying to resolve our issues tonight. It's going to be a solo shoutcast here for a couple of minutes, Steve.
Sounds good. 8:32 on the clock. Going to swing back over as Bone gets a nice Panzer kill on pin, taking out the engineer for the Infront team. I'm at the crypt right now, and everything is quiet. Not a soul to be found, and that's pretty much what you'd expect in a crypt, because, you know, that's where all the dead people are. But heading back now into the tavern, trying to find where all the action is. These guys are hiding from me. That's not very nice. Flag is still in possession of the Allied team. Tavern now, swinging through, very quiet, but in the MG42 courtyard, I find some life. We've got a good defense set up by the Rage team, doing a great job of basically keeping an eye on that chokehold area. Allies starting to stream in one at a time. We've got Bone with another nice Panzerfaust, and Maria getting a nice grenade, taking out, it looks like Zap, as he was trying to make his way, make a little bit of headway into that tavern for the rest of his team. 7 minutes and 40 seconds on the clock, and it has actually been very, very quiet so far. Not a lot of carnage to tell you about, but here we go. Machine gun fire inside the tavern right now. Defense set up by Rage is still looking very good, very solid. Going to be difficult for the Infront team to penetrate that defense, but they've got 7 minutes and 20 seconds left in which to do it. So, you know, we've got a lot of time here.
Yeah, it looks like man, oh man, oh man! 7:10 on the clock. Moments like this very frustrating tonight. DeeAy been out of touch with the game so far. INF allies are trying to get something done. Let's head down to the wine cellar and to the crypt and see what is happening down there. So far, INF have not been able to capture that northwest courtyard, or it has been recaptured by the Axis into the wine cellar. We're going to go. I hear some distant airstrikes up towards the crypt now. Let's take a look here at what kind of defense is set up in position. Nothing. I see no one on the map. 642 DeeAy. What's the storyline?
Everybody is spread out all over this MP village. Right now, we've got Krista and Zap making their way into the MG42 courtyard. They're being very sneaky about it, very quiet. We have a lieutenant and an engineer throwing out some support fire. And right now, the Axis is kind of scrambling inside that MG42 courtyard, wanting to avoid some of the support fire being thrown out, throwing some machine gun fire, hoping to get lucky and make a contact. 6:14 on the clock, heading through the tavern, trying to see what is going on. We've got Rage doing a great job at stopping the Infront team. The forward deployment flag in the northwest courtyard is still under control of the Axis team. Allies have not been able to get in there and get anything done. Heading out towards the crypt right now, as we have a plant on the storage crypt. Looks like an engineer managed to sneak around. We've got Woo for the Infront team, doing a little bit of a happy dance as he gets that dynamite planted on the crypt and just hanging out, waiting for that to blow up before we can get the rest of this game underway. Crypt has to be blown wide open before the gold can be stolen and taken back to the Allied truck of driving fun. And that'll happen soon, hopefully.
Well, 5, 3, 2, countdown underway. Let's take a listen now. No threat on the dynamite. The crypt is open, and the Allies now going to be able to grab the gold. Waiting now as Wu is waiting to sweep inside to sides. He's an engineer, going to wait for the medic. Incoming medic now, and his pin's got the grab. Pinned with the grab now. He's got it, and he's going to try to bring it home through the wine cellar at 514. This could be a critical play for INF, but he's ambushed down below, and the gold is down and returned by Maria Rage, a lieutenant for the Axis Army. Axis returned the gold. 5-minute warning here on the clock tonight. Still plenty of time to get something done, considering that INF were able to hold up Rage the entire time. They have done more here in this last, or in the first 5 minutes than Rage was able to do the entire game tonight. The Allies do capture the northwest courtyard here, and now as we're standing by waiting for the incoming INF squad to make something happen here at 443, we're going to be seeing them in the wine cellar in just a moment, making the attack on the crypt as we got some of the Axis. Oh, bless you. Got the Axis trying to set up their defense here tonight versus the Allies. Oh, you.
Didn't hit the mute button quite fast enough there. We had a very nice artillery support kill by Sengo for the Rage team. Took out Pinned, Woo, and Zap all in one stealth swoop. Right now, the Axis team of Rage are swarming all over the graveyard. They've got the gold in their possession. It is under control, and so far no allies have managed to get it after that first grab for the Infront team. But right now we've got some stuff happening inside the wine cellar as the Axis team picking off at the allies as they stick their heads up out of that ladder. Coming through the wine cellar, there is 3 minutes and 58 seconds on the clock. Axis still alive and kicking, doing a great job of holding down the fort in that crypt. Gold is nice and secure. We've got Axis covering both entrances. Panzerfaust from Bone taking out Yuri Oman and himself. Krista, though, still alive, sticking her head out, making sure that everything is nice and clear. The Axis reclaim that northwest courtyard, and we do have another gold grab. Krista has it, but doesn't get very far, taking out on the steps of the crypt. Gold is returned, and there is 3 minutes and 29 seconds left on the clock.
Countdown underway. Take a quick look here at the rosters. Lineup squad with several touches on the gold so far have been unable to bring it home. They've still got 3 minutes to do so. Plenty of time. And if they can, the score is going to be 2-1 in their favor here tonight. If not, then we're still looking at a 1-1 tied ball game here on MP Village. DeeAy, these have been the most amazingly close and vicious games that I've ever seen. These European games are just struggles to the last round.
Absolutely, neither team wants to give up anything. There is a lot on the line here, not only the title of OpenCup Division 1 champions, but also a buy into the Euro Cup 8, which will start in September. Allies capturing that northwest courtyard, but still the gold is safe as the Allies swarm the graveyard and the crypt. They have everything under control. It's going to be a lot of work for the Infront team to get through the rage defense, to grab that gold and get back to the truck. They have 2 minutes and 21 seconds left in which to do it. They've got time for pretty much one solid grab. You need about 2 minutes. I mean, it's not that far from the crypt to the truck, but don't forget you're going to be encountering a lot of opposition. Nobody wants you to get that close to your truck with the gold. The Axis team wants to keep their booty for themselves. They are not going to share with the Allied forces at all. Right now, the Allies hovering inside the tavern, just regrouping before they can make their next push on the crypt. But a Panzer inside the wine cellar, not good as Bone gets a nice 3-man Panzer kill. Zap, Oman, and Yuri down for the count. Now the Axis are swarming inside the wine cellar, going to head them off at the pass. Right now the crypt is clear of any Axis, any Allies. 1:37 on the clock, and it's all quiet out here.
1:32, it looks like the Shoutcast and Wolf TV even plagued by some troubles here tonight. Wolf TV itself appears to be having some problems. 124 on the server is all that remains. We've still got some people dialed in and some people unable to join us, so we're just going to keep that Shoutcast rocking while we can. Frozen saying that Wolf TV is down. They're going to be working on that ASAP to get Wolf TV back up and running. 1:07. Let's go ahead and sound that 1 minute warning quickly coming up right now. Standing by at the 58-second countdown, I am now in conservation mode, DeeAy. I'm starting to conserve my energy because I realize that we could be looking at another incredibly long game, and if that's the case, well, I gotta save my energy for the many rounds to come. 41 seconds, the gold is revealed here tonight, but INF are unable to get it past their own 90-yard line right here and score that touchdown. 30-second warning is now in play, and it looks like DeeAy, it's going to be a good game, a full hold on MP Village.
Another full hold on MP Village. Bone with another nice Panzerfaust. In the meantime, taking out Pinned, Wu, and Zap, doing a great job with that weapon of mass destruction. 13 seconds left on the clock. They are not going to be able to get that gold home. It's just sitting here nice and exposed for anyone to come and grab. I could really use some gold. I'm poor. I would like to have some of that Axis booty for myself, but it's not going to happen. The score is still going to be 1-1 after a complete round on MP Village. Neither team managing to make a home run, and we're going to head into set number 2, round number 1 in just a few minutes. This round could spell doom, or it could spell an incredibly long cast. Either way, if either team manages to get a point on the other in this next round on MP Village, then that is going to pretty much spell game over. If we do have another complete full 20-minute hold on MP Village, then we're moving to map number 3. But we still have a lot of time before that is decided.
Yeah,
and stick around.
Yeah. I would give you the website address, but TSN currently down. If you are connected, don't lose connection because you're going to have a hard time reconnecting to the Shoutcast here tonight. www.tsncentral.com. We've got the techs working on it right now. They'll hopefully get that up and running soon. We've got some other great matches coming up here tonight. We've got some Counter-Strike and more happening on the Team Sportscast Network. Also on Sunday is the Euro Cup 7 RTCW Finals, going to be brought to you by yours truly and DeeAy. So good times going to be happening right there this coming Sunday. Let's take a quick gander at what's happening here on the server, waiting on 3 players. DeeAy, how about some quick efficiencies before we start?
Whoops. let's take the microphone off mute for taking a look at what happened in that last round. Things were actually very, very close. We had Bone coming in. It was 50% overall as a team. Highest efficiency on that team was Elpool coming in at 57%. Before the Infront team, 49% efficiencies. All of their efficiencies are very close, but DeeAy coming in 59% overall. So very close on that last round. What you'd expect for a full hold. And just waiting on one more player to get this next round underway. And here's hoping for some gold stealing. I would like to see the gold being stolen.
Yes. I am definitely in the mood to see a little carnage waiting on that one player here tonight. Prepare to The game fight. Is going to start, so let's do it. Get our groove on in 1944. Fight. 9:57 already on the clock. INF now, Allies again, still with a chance, momentum in their favor. They've got what it takes, DeeAy, to open up that crypt. They've got what it takes to penetrate the defense, but when it actually comes to grabbing the gold and pulling the quarterback sneak, their quarterbacks are getting sacked way back at that 90-yard line. They've got to be able to get back across that 100 yards and score that touchdown to get themselves a time on the clock at a potential point here tonight. Can INF do it? Well, what it's going to take for these guys is a more decisive offensive push once the crypt is open. They know the secret to get it open, but once it's open, they start to stumble. They're going to have to change things up, find a way to throw the Rage defense off of balance, grab that gold, get it through the Axis ambush, through the village of Cherbourg, and score that cap tonight. 9:06 is on the clock. That's your tactical rundown, and DeeAy is ready to call the shots.
What Infront really wants to do is set an absolutely incredible time on MP Village. If they do that, then it pretty much guarantees a win unless the Rage team can come back and top that with an even better time. That is what we are looking for tonight as the action is happening in the MG42 courtyard. Has some pans of fire from Sengo, taking out Wu from the Infront team. And there we go, Bone Rage, or from the Rage team, taking out Pinned and DeeAy from the Infront team. Nice work as Rage sets up their defense now in the MG42 courtyard. The allied team of Infront is going to have to make another collective push on that tavern if they want to get in there and get anything done. 8:22 is on the clock. Everything is nice and quiet here in the tower. I'm going to swing back over to the crypt and see if anything's going on that way. There are two routes. Oh, nice grenade from Maria. Takes out Pinned, DeeAy, and Zap. 3-man grenade kill. That is what you have to do if you want to shut this team out again. And Infront needs to regroup and try it, and one more time, and taking out Maria would probably be a good time.
Yeah, Maria, definitely a well-placed grenade in that chokehold in the MG42 courtyard. Tossed it in just as the Allies were rounding the corner and was able to take them down. Right here, the Axis in control of MG42, not really having yet to have to fall back to the chokehold right in the front of the tavern. They're utilizing the tunnel as their primary chokehold, but here comes an incoming airstrike from the Allies now, trying to get something done. Airstrike underway, but takes none of the Axis down. It was Zap right there from INF as the lieutenant drops the airstrike, then commits suicide to go for the fresh respawn. 7:24. I would not be surprised if at this time we see INF try to take their route through the Axis spawn, but instead I might be proven wrong. It looks like we could have a 2-4 split. Two members now are looking to possibly distract the Axis here on the MG42 courtyard, sending 4 to Axis spawn. 7:05D, all you.
Right now, everything at the crypt is extremely quiet. I could take a nap out here. Everything is so quiet, but I'm going to head back down now into the wine cellar, see if I can't find anybody. And here we go. We've got Elpu from the Rage team. He is a medic for the Axis defense team, hanging out by the crypt as the rest of his teammates come streaming in just in time as the Allies start to come into the graveyard one by one. They've got kind of a flank formation set up here, going on all sides, hiding behind those headstones, I guess those things would be called. No sign of any engineer for the allied team, though. We've got some medics running around doing their medic thing, and Rage has his Panzer out and ready, but not going to happen. It is taken out by Oman's Thompson. Nice crossfire set up by the Infront team. We still have a couple people still alive, but they're both medics, and we need to get an engineer in here quickly. 6:14 on the clock, no sign. Allies have control of the crypt, but they can't do very much with it. Need to get an engineer in here quickly, and the Allied do not have control of that northwest courtyard. It is still under control of the Axis team, so the spawn is going to take a while to come all the way back from, there we go, as I'm saying, they grab the northwest courtyard. but here comes the Axis. The Axis team has spawned back in, and they're setting up their defense right around that crypt. So that was a very good window for a good window of opportunity for the Allied team, but they did not have the resources to take advantage of it, and that is going to cost them because now the Axis team are back, they're healthy, and they are ready to stop the incoming Infront team from doing anything to that crypt.
Well, the Infront team not really doing much, not putting a lot of pressure on the crypt here at the moment. They're just coming in from every different angle, 1s, 2s, 3s, trying to basically play the distraction card, the distraction gambit here tonight, but it's not paying out for them. I really think what these guys need to do is a concerted 6-man push, maybe a 5-man push. I don't know, just get something, get those airstrikes up there in the crypt, clear out that crypt, get in there, charge forward, lose some men, try to get the good bounce on the respawn, but you gotta keep that northwest courtyard, and they've lost it again. The Axis have reclaimed the courtyard. You might want to send 5 men forward, keep 1 man behind on that courtyard to keep it secure. They've got to change something up here tonight because the methods they are using are not working out tonight. Very quiet so far. 4:48 on the clock as we are now in this engagement. If any team can set the time and hold, then it's going to be a win. If not, we're going to a tiebreaker map.
We are indeed. The map has yet to be decided. Both teams will throw out maps until we've come to an agreement on what is going to be the third map. The Rage team is still setting up their defense around that crypt. Had a couple of good attempts by the Infront Allies team, but they were shut down by the defense set up by Rage. Very solid, and right now we've got a fight happening inside the, I guess this is a library? It's above the wine cellar. Not quite sure what this is, but we have some gunfire going on in here, and the Allied do have control of that northwest courtyard. They're spawning back in, and they're now going to make another push on the wine cellar, narrowly avoiding some support fire that was thrown down, getting in there before anything can happen. Allies in the wine cellar making their way through, and we've got support fire coming from the Infront team, taking out a couple members of the Rage defense, and that is what you need to do. Clear out the path. Get rid of the Axis that are defending the crypt so you can get your engineer in there and plant his happy engineer dynamite. But so far, there's still 1 or 2 members of the Rage team still alive, not being able to make much good with the penetration. Have a medic pinned at the crypt, but it's not going to do much good because the medic can't make things go boom.
Yeah, medics may serve a use, but when it's trying to control that crypt and get that plan, it ain't going to happen. But we got a green light. We got something cooking finally. Yebo! Dynamite is in position now, brought to you by the engineer for INF, Woo, at 3:12. Countdown underway. Finally something to shout about tonight. Now, can INF get the gold and bring it back? That is what is critical tonight. We know they can do this, but can they get home all the way? At 257 waiting now. Nice Panzer pass from Bone Rage takes down Woo, who was the engineer, and now the crypt is going to be blown sky high, wide open. The gold can be grabbed as the Allies break into the crypt. We got to grab by a medic now. He's got it. She's got it. It's Krista. Now down to the wine cellar. DeeAy. It's the rush we've been looking for. Can Krista get the support she needs to get something done? We're going to find out as we hand it all to you.
Inside the tavern right now, Krista making her way with the rest of her Allied team. She's got a good backup. She's doing the smart thing, staying back, letting the rest of her team go ahead of her and let her know what the situation is out in the courtyard before anything actually happens. Krista now hiding just a little bit as she hears some gunfire coming inside the first courtyard. Her teammates taking a bit of gunfire from the Axis that are set up right now, heading back, still in the chokehold, still the gold is safe and in the possession of the Allied team. Krista hiding out, doing the smart thing. Nice grenade from Maria, takes out Pin and Woo. That is not going to be good for the Infront team, and here we go. We've got a gunfire. We've got Lieutenant versus Medic. Lieutenant goes down. Medic is still alive, revives herself up some backup. 1:46 on the clock. If she can stay alive and get the rest of her teammates in here to cover her butt. No, Panzerfaust from Bone. Very nice. Takes out Krista, takes out Oman, and the gold has been returned. Very nice play by Bone, the soldier with the Panzerfaust. 1:29 on the clock. Gold is still back in the crypt. And there we go. We've got another grab. Warwitch, you watching that?
This is going to be their last attempt. Oman with the grab. Oman now heading towards Axis spawn. There's an incoming airstrike. Oman forced to dive back to the graveyard now. Bounding forward, sending his troops ahead. Allies capture the northwest courtyard. Oman is a lieutenant all alone. 1:04 on the clock. Let's sound that 1 minute warning now. Trouble times. Oman in trouble now. The Axis are responding, taking some fire. Oman at 55 seconds. It's looking bleak. Drops an airstrike behind him. Oman now bounding forward. 50 seconds. DeeAy. It's trouble times. Oman, ambush from behind. Oman down, and the gold is going to get returned by Rage. Nice return, and Rage stay in the ball game as Oman almost gets the grab, takes it to the 60-yard line, but shut down and denied. Ain't gonna happen, and we've got ourselves another full hole.
27 seconds left on the clock. It is not going to be possible for the Infront team to grab that gold and get back to their truck with the stolen booty. Nice plays, though. They came very close a couple of times, but no, in the end, Rage comes out on top, and they managed to hold off the Infront for the team for the full 10 minutes. There's 10 seconds left on the clock. This is officially garbage time. Not much going on. Good games being exchanged. And the next round, unless Bone Range is able to actually get that gold home, we are going to have another full tie, and it has to go to map number 3, but that will not be decided for at least another 10 minutes. That is the time on the clock for Bone Range to get their butts in here and grab that gold and go home.
Well, can it happen? We'll find out here in a moment. DeeAy and Warwitch will be back in a moment. You are dialed into TSN, the Team Sportscast Network. Our coverage of RTCW continues soon. Check our website and IRC for match status and info. TSN's RTCW coverage continues soon. Check the TSN website calendar and news at www.tsncentral.com for more information. TSN's 1944 coverage of Return to Castle Wolfenstein continues soon. Find us in IRC at #TSN on the Enter the Game IRC server for more information.
This is not TSN at a major worldwide LAN event.
Came and bring our life into this lonely heart of mine. You are the love line, just in the nick of time.
This is TSN at a major worldwide LAN event.
Trying to rush forward, nice revivals. The Germans know how to make the revivals here. We got a full O'Connor team charging forward to the war room, but nice revivals being made inside. We got Valdez, we've got Bloodshot, we've got CCM, Double Lloydman, and Medic Action incoming at you. CK Lethal takes the O'Connor team from behind. O'Connor focusing fully on the war room, are taken down from behind. Then revivals being made. O'Connor deep now burst into the war room, engaging now CKCM and shoot him down against the wall. It's over. Schnell,
Any questions? Your source for the esports revolution for 2003 and beyond. This is Team MCT.
All right, Dean, killing a little bit of time because we're probably looking at another full hold here tonight, and I don't feel like talking for 10 minutes. 8:47 on the clock here tonight. The Allies Rage trying to beat the time. Full hold, the last round. Now, what can they do? DeeAy, what's the story?
The Allied team of Rage already has control of that northwest courtyard, and they're making their play for the crypt nice and early. That is what you need to do. There is 8 minutes and 27 seconds on the clock, and the fight is in the graveyard. We've got lots of carnage going on here. Panzer fire, support fire, all over the place. Right now, though, the crypt is still secure. We do have a green light, but the engineer did not manage to survive, and the dynamite fades away into nothing. Allies, though, still all over the place around those crypt. We just don't have any engineers. Love those engineers, but sometimes they're kind of hard to find. 8:04 on the clock. Allies in control of the crypt, but here come the Axis. Dynamite has been planted at the gold storage crypt as there was an engineer hiding. Did not see him. Nice bright red shiny light. If Rage can pull this off, then we're going to have a 2-1 game, and they will take the championship. Right now, though, score is still 1-1. 7:45 on the clock. Nice, flashy, bright red light. Allies in control of the crypt, and that is a good sign.
Yeah, very nice gambit right here for Rage. Rage really coming out of the block strong, but here the Axis surrounding the goal, trying to get their engineering in. Here comes the Allies. Oh, here comes the crypt blown wide open. It's open and down. Wow, 7:25 on the clock. Here comes the medic trying to bound inside. Singo has got it out of nowhere, and man, a fire has been lit under the buttocks of Rage here tonight as the Allies steal the gold into the wine cellar. Singo with the grab. Clearly, INF has been taken by surprise by the ferocity of this Allied attack as they're now moving to the northwest courtyard right there, heading into the tavern now. We've got a full escort. Several members now. 6:59 making the charge home. Incoming charge, bounding home, trying to get something done into that south courtyard right now. The Allied courtyard making the charge towards the destroyed cottage. Here they come towards the gauntlet now. Are they going to be heroes or zeros? Bounding forward. Charges is going to go long. He's got the grab. Going long. Singo now trying to get it in. Singo bounding home. Singo is going to be the champion. Singo is nearly there to win the game for his team. And Rage are going to win the game. Yubble. Game over. 2-1. Objective reached at 3-3-0. INF is out of here, and Rage are your victors tonight. Wow.
The only time we managed to get plant on MP Village, 3:30, very nice indeed. Rage comes away with a 2-1 victory, and they are the Division 1 Open Cup champions. Good games to everyone involved, but Rage takes the cup, and they are in the Euro Cup 8 that'll begin in September. Great games. That was very, very cool to watch.
Wow. DeeAy. Record that time. I gotta speak. Good game.
Take a look at what happened in that game for efficiencies. We had 58% overall for the Rage team. Single coming out on top. 60% efficiency, 39 score. Very, very nice. And for the Infront team, 42% overall. Pinned Infront with 52% efficiencies. End of the game, Rage comes out on top 2-1. We'll give you a quick rundown of what happened on these maps in just a minute or right now. I can never tell.
Let's do it now.
Okay, first map tonight was MP Assault. Round number 1, set number 1, we had no time. The Allied team of Rage managed to hold off Infront for the full 10 minutes. Flip things over for round number 2, and Rage sets a time of 4 minutes and 45 seconds. Very good game and good enough for the first point. Rage goes up 1-0 after the first complete set on MP Assault. Looking at set number 2, round number 1, Rage comes back, setting the time in 9 minutes and 21 seconds. Not the best time, but still very good indeed. They managed to get that plant done, but Infront gets their game on, comes back. 5:57 is the time that Infront sets, gives them the point, ties the game up at 1 round apiece. Moving on to MP Village. MP Village took a million years to get through round number 1, set number 1. Axis team of Infront holds off Rage for the full 10 minutes, and then as payback, Rage holds off Infront for the full 10 minutes again, giving them a tie game, so the score is still 1-0. round number 1 of set number 2 on MP Village. Another full hold, 10 minutes, Rage holding off the Infront team for the entire time, and then flipping things over. They ate their Wheaties, not quite sure what happened, but in that last round, Rage comes back, they storm in there, a force to be reckoned with. 3 minutes and 30 seconds was the time they set. That gave them the second point, and they win the game and the championships 2-1 over Infront.
Congratulations to those guys, DeeAy. Rack your brain, because here in about 50 seconds, we'll be back with the PsychoServers.com Psycho of the Game Award, brought to you by the Team Sportscast Network. That's right, the award that everybody aspires to get. We're back and live in a moment.
PsychoServers.com is your direct source for all your online gaming needs. Offering one-stop shopping for high-quality game server rentals, web hosting, and voice communication hosting tailored for the needs of competitive gaming. PsychoServers specialize in assisting customers to attain a fierce presence on the online gaming community. They take the hassle out of getting the things you need, leaving more time for you to stomp out the competition. PsychoServers offer custom tailored services, prices, and the support to fit your needs. They pride themselves on offering personal attention to you, the gamer, thus the online community as a whole. So just remember,